What's up, guys? This is Clashing with Sir William for another portion of my Town Hall 8 hog deployment videos. So on this video I wanted to cover the Asian wall, which is I think the most general and the easiest to execute hog deployment that is still very effective. It's not as hard to do as surgical, but it also is a little better and more functional than a one finger drop. So I'm just going to show a few videos on it. The first one I'm going to show is from our most recent war, and this was a classic version of a Asian wall drop. So as you can see right here on this base, there is two possible spots for a double giant bomb. And right here what Smith is fixing to drop is a skeleton spell. And for us, my personal name for it is Larry, based off the commercial. So if you ever hear me refer to something as Larry, that is always going to be a skeleton spell. So Smith is going to drop Larry right in the middle of the base, and you're going to see why in just 1 second. Right when the skeletons come up, it triggers 3 Teslas. So right when that happens, Smith knows that there is not a double giant bomb. Now, if there was a double giant bomb, Smith could have easily changed his attack plan to work better for it. If there was a double giant bomb, he could have either deployed his hogs a little more surgical, send in a small group from the north to trigger the giant bomb, something like that, and it would have handled it. But since he knew that there wasn't, he just went ahead and went with the safest hog deployment, which is an Asian wall. So he's just going to lure the CC out. We're going to fast forward through that portion. Alright, he's just going to get the CC out, and he's going to take it out with his poison, because you don't really need 2 poison spells for most hog attacks. So using Larry is actually a pretty cool thing, and it's a new spell, so why not find a way to use it. So the CC troops are down. Alright, so now ultimately he is just going to spread his hogs along one side of the base. So as you can see, his hogs are pretty spread out, and they're slowly going to start to clump together. It makes it a little easier for his heal spells. So he's going to drop 1 heal spell, and that's going to cover the giant bomb, and he drops another one just because that's a smaller group of hogs, so he wants to make sure that his hogs don't fade out or anything like that. So as you can see, he actually successfully avoided the left giant bomb right there. So he has the majority of his hogs still alive. It was a great attack overall, and that is the first video, which is an Asian wall deployment. It is the first deployment that I learned, and it is also just the most general deployment that you're going to see from most clans. It's a good way to start, to say the least. So as you can see, he triggered that final giant bomb right there. So now I'm going to take a look at some other war attacks we have. So now I'm going to go right here. And this was from our previous war that we did 2 days ago. So on these attacks right here, this is 2 more versions of an Asian wall. Now on this one right here, this is a little more difficult of an Asian wall. So Wrath is going to lure from the west, and then he's just going to take the CC out to the north. Just standard, he's just going to take it out with his wizards and archers. Alright. And once the CC troops go down, then he's just going to send in his hogs. Now Wrath is going to use his Barbarian King as a meat shield on that side. So as you can see, what he's done here is he's almost done a surgical Asian wall. So there could be a giant bomb, a double giant bomb, in this area right over here. And so he doesn't know yet. And so if he just Asian walled this entire area right here, and if there's a double giant bomb in the middle, he could lose all of his hogs. So instead, what he's going to do is he's going to use about 1/3 of his hogs on both sides. Alright, so as you can see, he still has 14 hogs left. Alright, and once both sides go down where he can tell that there's not a double giant bomb, then he sends the rest of them in with the larger pack. So all of them hogs come in, and he triggers a giant bomb right there, and he still has the majority of his hogs and 2 heal spells. So now he's just able to ultimately just walk his hogs through. So still 1 more heal spell, and pretty much it's obvious by now that his hogs are going to be okay. It looks like he's maybe lost 2 or 3 hogs total from that second group that he has. So as you can see, all of his hogs, still one heal spell. He drops it just to be safe, but really he did not need that heal spell at all. Could have been a swag heal, which is always a plus. So it was a great use of Asian Wall in a bit more complicated way. Now, after that, it's just going to be cleanup, and it's just yet another 3-star. Great job, Wrath. Now, the next attack that I'm going to show once this one right here is finished cleaning up is going to be another one from the same war. And this one is going to be done by Prime's mini account, which is Sauron. So, he is going to do another version of Asian Wall. So he's just going to start off, we're just going to fast forward through his little lure. Alright, he's actually able to trigger 2 giant bombs off his lure. Just because whenever you see a possible situation where there might be a giant bomb on the exterior, don't be afraid to use one hog to possibly trigger. It's always worth it. Because then, right now he has to deal with 1 giant bomb for the entire attack. So he ultimately has 3 heal spells to get all of his hogs all the way through the base. That's pretty good odds. So he just lures them out to the corner, takes them out, pretty standard right here. Alright, and once the CC troops go down, then Prime is ultimately going to drop 1 giant on both sides, just to take some initial damage from the point defenses, and then he is going to do a 2-finger Asian Wall drop. So ultimately he is going to do an Asian Wall, but on 2 sides of the base. It is very effective, especially for a base like this, where all the point defenses are on the exterior. Then you take out more point defenses quicker. So, as usual, I'm going to take this one in the end and dissect it a little more, so you can understand a little better on what you should look for an Asian Wall. So, they take out that Tesla, and then afterwards it's just solid cleanup. So, once this attack is done, I'm going to go through and spend a little more time explaining all of it. So, when you're looking at this base right here, alright, you can count right in this area, ultimately from the middle of the base down, alright, there's going to be 7 point defenses. So, the north area of the base only has 3, excluding Teslas. So what Prime is going to do is he is going to deploy his hogs, and I believe he's going to have 27 of them. So he is going to spread all 27 out from this west cannon to the east cannon. Alright, and that is going to take down, within the first few seconds of the attack, it is going to take down over half of the point defenses. Those are the kind of things that you want to look for in an Asian Wall drop. Because you want to take out as many point defenses as you can off the first part. Because then, if you can prevent from having to use a heal spell right at the beginning of the base, and you've taken down well over 30%, or even in this case, over 50% of the point defenses, that is going to help your attack and almost certainly guarantee a 3-star, as long as you can avoid double giant bombs and other things. So, I'm just going to fast forward this portion again, just so we can look at some of the stuff that Prime did a little closer. So once them CC troops go down, alright, you can see he drops the 2 giants, and the giants are just going to be a decoy to take some damage from all the point defenses near. Alright, and once that happens, then he just sends his hogs in. Okay, so watch what's going to happen. It's 121 right now. Alright, within just a few seconds, all the point defenses go down. So right through here, he hasn't even dropped a heal spell yet. The first heal spell comes down 11 seconds after. Alright, and then within 16 seconds, he has taken down 7 point defenses. So within 16 seconds of his hogs coming on to this base, they have taken down over 50% of the point defenses. Alright, and as you can see, he dropped his second heal spell over on the left just to be double sure. And then his hogs are going to continue going. Alright, his final heal spell is going to be dropped over where the last few point defenses are. So he still has the majority of his hogs left, and there's only 3 defenses left. So it was an excellent attack and a great use of Asian Wall. So whenever you're looking for Asian Wall, just always be mindful of where all the point defenses are. Now, just because you have a certain deployment does not guarantee a 3-star, but watch each portion of this video to see all the different hog deployments, and over time, once you practice them, you'll be able to 3-star just about any base with a certain type of hog deployment. So if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like and subscribe. If you have any questions or would like to see anything in future videos, please just leave it in a comment, and keep clashing, guys.